Hey, what's going on, everyone? Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. This is where we ended our live stream in 2023. We were watching the moon last night. So the moon came up in 2023 and it's going to be setting in 2024. How cool is that? So this moon came up last year. It's going down this year. So looks like it's finally quiet. There's no more gunshots. All right, and it's still cold. Still cold out here. So let's go inside. Welcome. Welcome to our Christmassy apartment here. Oh, I'm just noticing. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, this thing burnt out. Did it? No, it didn't burn out. They turned it off. Why would they turn it off on me? All right. I'm gonna get these other lights on here. So welcome to 2024, guys. It's still Christmas over here in our place. We got the solar lights that come on. That's a lot of lighting for how dark it is in here. Let me see what happens if I turn off the TV. There we go. Dang, that TV brings a lot of light in. But Happy New Year. I hope you guys had an awesome Christmas, awesome holidays if you don't celebrate. I hope you had a wonderful night last night and you were able to bring it in the way that you were hoping to. And yeah, last night, so what I ended up doing is we ended up just hanging out here at home. We went live and celebrated here with just the family. Our son, 4-year-old, was up all night with us until midnight. I think I I fell asleep right after that, and I think he stayed up for the whole thing. So I ended up going live last night and talking about all the different fireworks displays. We were watching Singapore for a while up until our display hit, and what is all this stuff here? Oh, it's just a bunch of paperwork and stuff. And so we didn't do anything last night. We didn't go out to any shows or anything. We just watched the whole, what used to be known as Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's, and now that show is really lame, man. I miss him. I miss Dick Clark. It's like, man, it used to be really cool. And they used to show a lot more of the show. They used to bring out a lot more of the performers and just make it more spectacular. Nowadays, it's just like a big old commercial. And they're always just hyping up this and hyping up that. And they're talking about random nonsense. And it's just so lame. I'm sorry, man. But the show last night was pretty lame to watch. But, it's the traditional thing of watching the ball drop in Times Square for New Year's Eve. It's what we all do, or what at least I've always done. And so, we start the day out earlier in the day when, we tried to, at least yesterday we kind of missed it. But usually we celebrate every New Year's Eve on the time zone. So as soon as the very first time zone celebrates, we're usually celebrating with them. I don't know when we started to watch and started celebrating with everyone, but I know we saw like Sydney, Australia. We saw Dubai and and Qatar, and then after that, then there was some other places. So I don't think we started watching until it got to the Middle East. But then later on, we turned back on some footage of the past ones. That's how we got onto Singapore while we were celebrating here on the Mountain Standard Time in the U.S. here for Albuquerque, New Mexico, Colorado, everyone up north and south of us. So today, I figure we'll do our very first live stream. I'm just waking up actually, so I just woke up and I was like, let's do a first live stream right away. Not gonna do anything else. Just just basically got up, used the restroom, lit up a smoke. Haven't even had a glass of water yet, which we'll do now. And we did already do our prayers. Got to make sure to always pray, especially this year. There's going to be a lot of interesting things going on this year. It's 2024. There's a lot in play. It is an election year, which is going to be really interesting to see how things are going to pop off. January 6th is known as like Insurrection Day or whatever. Even though there was never an insurrection, I created a video on my observations of what was going on from another video, so I wasn't there live, but being able to watch another person's video, and they're not even like pinpointing or nitpicking at the things that I was seeing. They were just there to observe and be a part of it. And I ended up utilizing their video and dissecting it apart and watching all these different things. And to me, being an actor, background actor for different movies and films here in New Mexico that were filmed here, a lot of big movies that I've done and a lot of small time movies as well. And the way that it was set up, it looked like it was a set. It looked like they had fans to keep the extras cool during times when the cameras weren't on and things like that. So there's a video there. I don't even remember what it's called. We could try to find it. I was actually thinking I'm going to roll one up right now. We're just basically finished smoking what I had left over from last night. I'm going to roll one up and we're going to see if there's anything going on in the news. I heard there was a lot of police activity and a lot of military presence, or just a lot of security, a lot of beefed up security for Times Square in New York last night, and a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, and a lot of individuals were talking about how there was going to be some kind of a protest or something huge, and to watch out, don't be there, to not go, all this stuff. And then nothing happened. But, it's always good to be prepared just in case. So, let's see. We got 3 hours ago. Let's see what's going on in the news right now. So, 2 days ago, did you know fireworks are legal in South Dakota during New Year's? No, I did not. Thanks for telling me. All right, here it is. Eyewitness video captures moments of magnitude 7.6 quake jolts central Japan. So this here is a video they're posting it from 3 hours ago. Now, I don't know if this is new footage or not. Or if this was from the other day, and then maybe this is what happened and what shook the whole situation in California. I don't know if you guys are aware of what happened out there in California. with the big old rogue wave that came in the other day. But apparently this is footage of a camera shaking. A 7.6 quake, I guess, being captured here. I don't know how long this video is. I don't know what sort of audio it may have. It looks like it's a video from Japan. News 9, I guess. News 9 is in Japan. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so maybe that was it. The shaking of the camera. And then I don't know if there's more waves now or not. I didn't really notice what the beach was looking like and the shore there. I don't know if there's a lot more activity and stuff going on. Okay, I guess here's more camera footage. This is a 7.6, guys. That's huge. Okay, people start feeling it. There's someone that stepped outside. That's smart. Wow, still shaking. You can see a couple of the telephone poles in the background are swaying back and forth. Trees are moving. Something back there collapsed or exploded. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that right there. Oh my gosh, there's a whole entire, this building right here completely collapses, guys. I was looking at the swaying telephone pole here. There's a lot going on. This whole structure just collapses right there. I don't see any other structures that went down like that. And that looked like a big structure. I don't think that was a normal home. I think that might have been like some sort of a community center or something that everyone else uses. I don't believe that was a home there. From the design, the way it looked compared to the rest, it was a lot wider, a lot bigger. Hopefully no one was injured. So I don't know when this occurred. We're going to scroll down real quick just to read video captures moments. This is 3 hours ago. It doesn't say specifically when this happened. I just know it was published 3 hours ago. Oh, News 9 is India's first fully integrated English news brand across all digital platforms. So News 9, hey, we're going to subscribe to News 9 because they probably have a lot of good information and things from around the world. First tsunami waves hit Japan after 7.6 magnitude earthquake 1 hour ago. Okay, so apparently this is what we're dealing with in the beginning of the year, guys, is a huge 7.6 magnitude earthquake. Now, I do believe there was an earthquake just right out of Japan several days ago when whoa, oh my gosh, is that thing gonna topple? No, 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 no. Jeez. I don't know if she could have saved it. Oh, then they're going to show this again here. There's the structure right there. And you can see it just completely collapse. So I'm not sure if this is new from this morning. Apparently, this hit yesterday during the day. I believe it's nighttime right now in Japan. I would imagine it's at least like in the middle of the night right now. So I'm thinking this is yesterday. Unless this is from a few days ago and they're finally just giving us the footage. because on the same day that I remember Japan had an earthquake, that's when the rogue wave hit in California. Also, there was another earthquake up there near Eureka, California. I believe it was a 6.3 that was right off the coast of California there. So, there could be waves that were coming from directly across the whole entire ocean, and then more waves coming from above. And when those waves crisscross each other, then you got some pretty disastrous waves forming, through Mother Nature. They say when you have any kind of crisscrossing wave patterns, you don't want to get caught up in that. Whenever you see a grid looking almost like a square pattern in the waves in the ocean, when you start seeing two waves crisscrossing each other, you don't want to get caught up in all that. So I guess everyone's shopping here, and you can see all the shelves and the store shake during the massive tremors here. All the snow getting shook off. Well, hey, you want to get your roofs cleared of snow? That's a quick way. Don't hide out underneath the roofs like that, right? You get covered. Around 33,500 households lose power around the epicenter. So apparently that 7.3 took out quite a bit. So they're going to start their year completely without power and trying to rebuild things. A lot of the structures, even though they're still standing, these structures get shook. Their foundations get shook, guys. And that becomes a very dangerous situation because you think that you're in a nice, sound, safe structure, and then you come to find out, oh, this thing's been shook, and it's going to fall and collapse, right? Okay, and I don't know if they're going to translate it. So they're speaking in Japanese here. I have the volume turned way down, but I can hear it. I can tell what. Oh, I can't tell what he's saying, but I can hear the language he's speaking in. So apparently there's 7.6, guys, magnitude earthquake that hit hit Japan. It says 7.6. There's another one here that says 7.5. 2 hours ago, 27 minutes ago. So there is quite a bit of footage going on, guys. Apparently Japan's going to start the year with huge disastrous earthquake. And I was wondering, like, what's going to be our very first event? These are events that, whether they're man-made, Mother Nature made, or whatever, these events, they capture the world's attention. These are the type of events that capture the world. Everyone starts watching what's going on. Of course, there's some people who don't pay attention to any of it and are completely away from any sort of technology or whatever. A lot of different Buddhist monks or devotees of Krishna or other individuals who just aren't. Basically, they've renounced themselves from normal society. All right, so now that there's a huge earthquake, there's going to be huge tsunamis. That's what they're saying. Hazardous tsunami waves of up to 5 meters high are possible in Japan. So now, not only are they dealing with the earthquake, but now they got to stay away from the coast, and hopefully, all of Japan isn't sea level, and they don't all get put underwater. I don't really know anything about their elevations out there. I don't know if they have mountainous areas. Out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I live, we basically live in a bowl. if the ocean ever came up this way again, like, we were once underneath the ocean here in the desert, and if the ocean ever got pushed up, from the Gulf or something like that, we would be sitting in some water for a really long time. But then again, the ground's pretty dry, and we haven't had much water running through the Rio Grande River, and so it would probably just seep back into the ocean. And that's one thing too, is the all the waters on the surface, they eventually will recede back into the earth. I don't know if you guys remember during that whole time with there was the Burning Man escapades. They had a huge declared it a national state of emergency. Everyone getting rained out and covered in mud at Burning Man. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was right exactly around the time that Lahaina, Maui burnt down. That there was the fires in Lahaina, Maui. Media claiming it to be the deadliest fire in U.S. history. I was speaking with someone yesterday from Hawaii who was saying how the way that they're saying it out there on their news channels is that it's the deadliest fire in the last 100 years. And I'm like, well, okay, if they're saying that, Peshtigo fire was like, I believe in 1791, 1771, 1791, I think. Maybe 18, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the Peshtigo fire was actually, I think, during the time with the Great Chicago fires around that time. And it claimed 1,600 to 2,200 lives. And that has been on record as the deadliest fire in U.S. history up until the Lahaina Maui fires. And then the media started claiming them to be the deadliest fire in U.S. history. And I'm not hearing in the last 100 years added to that. So the individual who I was speaking with yesterday, who actually called me up randomly out of nowhere and said, hey, you want to cover something? I've got some information here. So someone's going to give me some information I'll be privy to about another individual who we feel is a scam artist and scamming a whole bunch of individuals out of thousands of dollars. I believe her last video, she was asking for like $50,000 so she could go travel to Hawaii and claim that she's covering what's going on out there. But really, she's just going out there on some vacation. So I got some information. And this individual, she told me yesterday that there isn't any missing children. There's no missing people, that pretty much everyone's been accounted for. And I'm like, okay, so then why is the media claiming this? That it doesn't make sense for them to be claiming things. And then also hearing stories of, like, on just 2 or 3 days after the fire, there were reports of 83 bodies washed up on the southern tip outside of Maui in the ocean, and that they had recovered 83 bodies who had floated up, not up to shore, but were floating right out there. And so with the numbers that they had of up to 119, then officially dropping to 115, it doesn't make sense that, if they found 83 in just that one area alone, and then, several others, it would be a lot more than 115 that they claim. And so even though this person may be on the island and right there, one city away, even though I'm one city away from like Berlin or Las Lunas or, Tijeras Canyon, Bernalillo, Santa Ana, even though we're just one city away, Rio Rancho, Corrales, I don't know what's going on over there. Like, they could have all kinds of stuff going on, and I wouldn't really know about it unless the news covered it, and then I would only know from what the news is saying, And then eventually maybe I'll get some information, insider information from, my brother because he lives out there in Corrales, or from other individuals that we know who lives out that way, or if something like that occurred. So even though that you're like one city away or whatever, it doesn't automatically just give you 100% truth and clarity on what's going on. You know, being that I'm here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I can verify that there is places that manufacture directed energy devices. We're not going to call them weapons because they're just devices, and it all depends on, who's harnessing that power and what they're using it for. It could be used for good, possibly. It could. It could be used as a defense mechanism, not for offenses, but for defenses. But being that we know that this technology exists, 100% factual information is that directed energies do exist, and the military has been experimenting with them here openly in the public on YouTube for at least 8 or 9 years now. And so, whatever the military is telling us, we have to remember that, when they finally came out with the stealth bomber in like the 80s or the 90s, they finally let us know that there was this black triangular military aircraft that they had created back in like the 40s or the 50s, right? And they kept it hush hush for 40 or 50 years, for decades, guys. So you think if anyone tells you that directed energy does not exist, that do not exist, just let them know that they're manufacturing it. There's a company right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that our own White Sands Missile Range has a video on here that talks about it from 8 years ago. Talks about how they use a microwave to heat up the target, and then they use a laser to take the target out. Real simple, guys. So we got 20 minutes right here of a tsunami strike, but I think there's a lot more news going on right here. So I guess 1 hour ago it says today Japan hit by 21 earthquakes of above 4-point magnitude in 90. Wait a minute. This is a whole different thing here, guys. This is interesting. The caption reads right here: Japan hit by 21 earthquakes of above 4.0 magnitude in 90 minutes. And that's the whole thing right there. Japan earthquake today. Japan hit by 21 earthquakes of above 4.0 magnitude in 90 minutes. You guys, that's not normal. I don't know about you guys, but I pay attention to things like weather manipulation, weather modification, HARP, different things that are they're messing around, guys. But I just wanted to do a quick little just a quick investigation to see what's going on today. What will be our very first event of 2024? So apparently Japan's going to be in the news for 2024. Luckily, nothing happened in New York last night. Nothing happened in Las Vegas from what I'm seeing. There's no news on anything like that. But a 7.6 hit north central Japan. My thoughts right away are, well, wasn't Japan possibly getting involved in things with the whole Taiwan trade and stuff with China and everything? I don't know. I don't know if this is something that China did with weather manipulation, weather modification, geoengineering. I don't know. But it's sad to see that these structures, they go down. Oh, you can see one part of that structure goes down first, and then the whole building goes down. It's like maybe the garage or something went down first, and then and you see a plume of smoke back here too. So I don't know if another structure went down over here. It looks like there's several plumes of smoke now that I'm watching this video. I think several buildings went down right there. That must be the epicenter. Wow, something shook Japan, guys. For 90 minutes. 21 earthquakes. Now, I understand that there's aftershocks. I grew up in California. And also, growing up in California in the 80s, you know, I was born in 76 and grew up all the way till about 88 in Cali. So for 12 years, I was living out there. And for all 12 years, I never felt a single earthquake, even though I was there. We lived through them. I never felt them, I guess. You know, I slept through some. I was awake through others. Didn't realize there was an earthquake. I guess they weren't that big, though, so. So this is the first wake and bake of 2024, guys. I'm getting my day started right. We are about to go and blow glass. We're going to do our first glass blowing session of the year. So please continue to stay with me here. We're about to go into the studio and probably work on some more marbles. When I get in the studio, I'll be able to share with you some of these cool, I don't know if you're even going to be able to see it. Wow, you almost can with that lighting, huh? That's pretty interesting. So I'll be able to show you guys these cool marbles here. This is is that a jellyfish? I can't tell if it's got the blue on it or not. Yeah, that one's a jellyfish. I don't know if you can see that. But I'll be able to show you better detail of these. That's a little jellyfish inside there. You can see how tiny it is. It's like a 15.5 millimeter sizing. Regulation for marble race is 15.5 to 16.5 millimeter. We have a 1 millimeter leeway in making them. So I'm going to go make a couple more. And I have this really, really cool idea on how I'm going to make my marble, my racer for this borosilicate marble race coming up this month. Now that we're in January, it's coming up this month. I don't know exactly what day. I need to really find out because I hope it's not like tomorrow and I miss it. But I'm going to be making a really cool marble. Being that it's going to be hosted in Silva Lane's bowling alley in a bar inside of the bowling alley. That's where the race is going to be. So I don't know if it's open to the public or if it's open to those who are under 21 years of age. I really hope that children are welcome. I know that there are lots of places that serve food and alcohol, and so maybe this is one of those types of places. And as you can see, this is from News 18. Click. So thank you guys for showing us what's going on out here. This is not my footage, of course. I'm not an employee of News 18. This is the Freedom Use Information Act. You know, we have the right to use public domain information, especially news. So I'm simply just rebroadcasting this to allow for the rest of the world, those who are in the Glassman's world, to see what's going on. 33,000 500 homes left without power. That's not also including businesses, guys. So I'm guessing that was around sunset with the look of the setting of the sun there, the lighting. Bullet train services, Shinkansen bullet train services have been suspended between Tokyo and epicenter in the Noto region. So this is a lot more than I thought. This is 21 earthquakes hitting 4.0s and above for a whole entire hour and a half, guys. That's a long time. One earthquake lasts for what, a few seconds? So a whole entire hour and a half of earthquakes, 21 earthquakes that are more than 4.0s where you're going to feel them. That's pretty crazy. All right, well, I don't know if there's anything going on, anything else going on in the world. Let's do a quick check here and just see. We know that earthquakes are happening in Japan. Fireworks displays everywhere. Here's the playback for New Year's Eve live from Times Square. If you guys want to watch that, here's a playback that's live right now. There's 5 people watching. New Year's Eve celebrates. And I don't see anything else. Finally caught the dreaded Cocoa Puffs. What is he talking about? What is Cocoa Puffs? What do they mean? I kind of want to watch it, but then I don't want to waste 10 minutes here watching that with you guys. So I'll watch that later. Apparently, all that we're really looking at is the sorry, I just saw Disney's 2024 fireworks celebration, New Year's celebration with the fireworks. Forgot to check that one out last night. But apparently, this is the only thing that we're dealing with for 2024. I'm grateful nothing happened in New York City or in Vegas last night. There were warnings of issues that might have happened, and so nothing happened. That's good. Oh, here's an issue I saw. A bunch of meals being found in New York thrown away while a lot of people are starving. That happens everywhere in every city, guys. There are food regulations that don't allow restaurants and shopping, supermarkets and places like that to just give away free food. Because if for some reason that food is tainted and someone eats it, even if they eat it from the trash, they can still sue. And so they are not allowed to legally leave food out for others, so they just throw it in the trash. If you take it out of the trash at that point, then it's on you, because there's warning signs that say not to go through the trash, illegal dumping, this and that, So, I guess if you go through a trash can, that is trespassing. Most businesses don't purchase their own dumpster bins or trash cans. We have all of our trash bins provided to us by the city. So I don't know if then legal terms come in at that point. If you're caught jumping in, if you're caught dumpster diving, like what sort of fines or laws or what rules are you breaking at that point? But yeah, so there's a lot of people who are starving in this world, and there's a lot of food. So that's why on every Saturday, I always try to let people know that there's a place here called the the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice. We know it as the Peace and Justice Center, but it's the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice, located at Harvard Street and Silver Street. It's at the southeast corner, right there. Every Saturday at 9 a.m. Everyone is welcome in the public. You know, there's no, they don't check IDs. There's no requirements, no paperwork to fill out, no applications, no proving your income or lack thereof. Um, Basically, everyone is welcome to go down to this free food line. They have some really nice, dank, organic food that comes from like really choice places like Whole Foods or Sprouts, places that have, you know, like natural food grocers. And so I've been telling people this spot's existed since probably around 2015, 2016 when I learned about it, and I've been going to it ever since. It helps us out. You know, we tend to eat things from places like that, from the natural food grocers, you know, drinking almond milks, having coconut yogurt, almond yogurt, things like that, you know, non-dairy foods, gluten-free foods here in the household. I personally am not gluten-free or dairy-free, but we do have individuals in our family that are, and so we have to buy these these foods that are so expensive, guys. So yeah, you know, there is a lot of food that goes wasted, and it's too bad that we can't simply just feed it to the homeless. But if you do have a group, an organization, you have some sort of a tax write-off, you are able to then go to a place like a grocery store or somewhere, and then with your organization and with tax papers and tax write-offs and things like that, you are then able to accept donations from these places before they throw away their food. So that's the beauty of the free food line, is they're saving this food before it hits the trash. So no one has to dumpster dive it. It's getting put into boxes, bins, then loaded onto different trucks, different vehicles that they then deliver directly to the food line, where it goes onto tables for the general public to grab. You know, usually wait in line with the box or bags. You grab one item per area, per table or per area that they say, okay, you get one item from here to there, you get one item from here to there, and you grab one item per person. So if you got 3 people in your household, bring all 3 and everyone will be able to get food. If you just come by yourself for all 3 people in your household, then it's just you providing for everyone else. So it's better to get everyone to show up so everyone gets a little something. And then once you go around the line once and you go through it, then you can jump right back in line. And everyone else who's going around the second time, at that point, they know if you show up late, they'll let you cut in line in front of all those who've gone a second time, and they'll make sure you get to the back of the line for the people who just barely got there, and make sure that they distribute it as evenly as they possibly can. And then that second time around, they allow people to just grab the rest of those. Here, take them all. Take all the rest of the yogurts. Take all the eggs. Take all, grab 10 milks if you can carry them. They try to just get rid of it all so they don't then have to worry about the excess food. And we found someone in the community who actually comes in later, and he'll take the leftovers. So what's crazy is there's leftover food at a free food line that's coming from the grocery store that people pay good money for, and it's almost about to expire. The dates are still good on it, and they give it away to people instead of having to purchase it. I've gotten like hundreds, at least $100 worth of gluten-free bread in one day, like one time going there. So I highly recommend you guys go there, because there is food being wasted, and it's not right that we have all this food being wasted when there's so many people starving, so many families and individuals who really need the help. So this guy, Cash Jordan, he's covering this from 23 hours ago, showing all the foods in New York City and all the meals that are just getting discarded. Good meals, packaged foods that can go out to the homeless easily. We can feed the world, guys. We have so much food. We could really change things. But we can either have society push us in a negative aspect of life where we have, you know, the public, the city taking the foods right here and just putting it into trash cans instead of dispersing it out to people who could eat it, people who need it. They're starving, right? There's starving children in Africa. You better eat all your vegetables. I was like, well, what about all these places that are just throwing it away? Didn't they learn that? Didn't they have mothers that told them that there were starving children in Africa? I remember hearing that all the time when I was growing up. So this is live right here. Revive Music. They're still showing the New Year's festivities, which maybe I'll throw that on for a minute. Oh, and here's the guitar. That one was pretty good. Here, we'll let this one play. We'll go with some fireworks here. I'm still smoking a little bit. We're gonna do a quick dab. 420. It's not 420, but it's 420. It's my wake and bake. And then we're gonna get on the torch, guys. First glass blowing session of 2024. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who aren't even awake. You're like, what the heck are you doing up, man? We're hungover. You're up too early. So today also marks my 8-year sobriety, guys. That's 8 years of not drinking alcohol. I also don't do a whole bunch of other things like, I don't take aspirin. I don't do Tylenol, ibuprofen. I don't take cough syrups. Like I don't do drugs, kids. But I do use cannabis. I utilize cannabis as a medicine, and it does help me. And I also use concentrates because I've learned recently that I have a sinus infection, and when I smoke flower with the plant material, that the plant material actually makes my lungs feel all gunked up. And so I prefer the concentrates these days because you're not getting all that excess, all that extra gunk and stuff. So I do a lot more dabs these days, guys. I find it to be a lot more beneficial for me. So I'm about to heat one up right here. I'm gonna heat this up for 1 minute. Cool. We'll use our timer on our phone here. We'll get the exact minute. We started at 14 seconds after. Alright, another 14 seconds. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And blast off. So now we wait another. Oh, is that time? I don't know. Maybe my eyesight was off. I'm like, hold on. I think. There we go. So 14 seconds after. Alright. And now we go another minute. So we heat it up and we let it cool down. It's so weird that we do that, right? Heat it up to cool it all down. I'm going to try to center this a little bit better. I can hear they got music going, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm almost very close to being monetized, maybe. I don't know. I'm debating it. I'm not really here to make money. off of all y'all and all your views and all that. I do appreciate you guys watching and checking out my videos and liking if you like it and subscribing when you feel it's my content is worthy enough to get a subscription to it. You know, and it's free. You know, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. So I do appreciate all of you who have subscribed. I've got close to 900 subscribers now, guys. So we're getting close to that 1K. Although I heard that YouTube has backed down the monetization thing, and now you can do it within 500 subscribers. All right, that was a nice dab. So what's today, Monday? Man. I think we're almost completely out. I don't know if I got any more. Alright, we'll do one more dab. And then we'll go inside the glass studio here into One Drop Studio, Gardenia Glass Studios. You know, years ago, I went to a place right around this time, which is so crazy. I moved in the middle of winter from Albuquerque, New Mexico, up north to northern New Mexico in a place called Tres Piedras, which is right outside of Taos, New Mexico, about a good 30 to 45 minute drive to the west of Taos, New Mexico. We had beautiful sunrises right above Taos, above the mountains there from our viewpoint. It was beautiful out there in the mesa. And so I moved out there to, gosh, what was it, like 8 years ago, I guess. 7 or 8 years ago at this time. In the middle of the winter, when it was freezing. And I'm moving in a place that's, you know, off-grid. So we got no electricity. There's no heat unless you create the heat or whatever, you know. And, man, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking back then. But I do miss it. It was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful experience to be there. And, you know, I'm saddened how it all ended and that I had to basically walk away from everything that I had invested in up there. All the time and energy, all the builds and stuff that I had worked on and helped create. And just to walk away from it all, you know, that was pretty painful. That was emotionally painful for me to have to do like that. But I couldn't allow myself to be badgered in that way, being accused of being a thief when I simply just owed someone money. I didn't steal from them. I asked them if I could pay them later and pay a bill first, and they agreed. And then they reneged on that. Like, what? Alright, whatever. I'm doing a dab. So the rig I'm using is like I would guess an 18-inch. Pretty nice rig. It hits well. It's good for me. For anyone else, it hit too big. Alright, well, I think we've watched enough of this New Year's celebration. It's now 2024. It's time to get to work, guys. I know most people don't work on New Year's Day, but you know me, I don't allow holidays to dictate when I get my work done. I get my work done when I need to get my work done. And right now, I feel like I just want to get some work done. I kind of just want to go and play on the torch. And this will be the first opportunity of the year. So here we go. Okay. We're going to shut this down. We're going to go into the studio now. Let me flip this camera around here. There we go. All right, so we're going to go into the studio and we're going to get some work done, guys. You ready? First glass session of the year. I'm being quiet because I don't want to wake up my wife and my son because they're still sleeping. Okay, and welcome to One Drop Studio, guys. So we're here. This is where I work. This is where get it all done. Screen press here. Beautiful balloon photos up here. Big old mess right below that. Don't want to show you all that. We're gonna have to clean things up here for the year. Here's the table. Here's a beautiful marble mold that I made yesterday. Got a smaller indentation on one side and then a deeper one there. And what I might eventually do is make this deep one wider so we can do even bigger marbles. But for now, we're going to use this one for our 15.5 millimeter marbles. We got all kinds of colors, guys. Lots of colors to play with. Lots more supplies back there. Got the fan going. Got the peacock Hare Krishna. I wonder if I can just set you guys up over here with this stand. I haven't used this stand in my studio yet, so hold on, give me a sec. Let me just move a couple things over. Oh yeah, the other thing too is this stand is set up so I could wrap you guys up on different things. Alright, let's see what kind of angle we got for you here. And is that gonna work? That works for me. Cool. Alright, we'll get the kiln on. Yeah, I think that's a good angle. Okay, yeah, you can see everything that's going on right there. That's a good angle, good spot. Alright. It wasn't as cold today, so the kiln probably, it's already in the 70s. Climbing up at 77, 78, 79. 80. So it goes up every few, it goes up 1 degree every few seconds. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So every like 2 to 3 seconds, it goes up another increment. And then we bring it all the way up. I fire my glass at 1080. I believe 1050 is pretty much where you want it to be, but 1080 is where I fire my glass. And you don't want to get it up above like, molten points like 2100 degrees, but you can get glass to start to get real soft and start to slump at a little bit less than that, So you don't want to have your glass too hot or your kiln too hot. Got to get things set up right. All right. So also, I don't know how the microphone works on here. I know I need to get the microphone set up for our camera on the other setup there better. I got a computer here where you guys are on camera. Then we got a computer right behind you. There's another computer over here that runs this device right here. And I may actually be bringing in another system. I don't know. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. I got a new system for Christmas. I haven't even really begun using it. I've just been checking it out to see what it has. I'm probably gonna utilize that for going live on Twitch, having an online onboarding system to do like, live edits and things like that. So I don't know. It's going to be fun. And also, it's got a video editing software on there. So I'll be able to start editing these videos and chopping them down. So I can make all of these like 2-hour, 4-hour videos and chop them down into like 2 minutes, 4 minutes. Just like the way real movies are made. You work for like a whole day on one scene and then you go watch it and like, oh, there I was for one brief second. Or I was in this scene, but you won't see me. That's always fun. Like telling all your friends, yeah, I'm really in this. I promise you, I'm really in this scene. I am. I swear. No, you're not. I swear I am. Alright, so I don't really know what I want to make, but I've got some cool ideas that I want to try out. And in order to do so, I'm debating how I want to do this and what colors I want. Yeah, that's like a big cut. I'm checking to see if I have any sort of like adventuring colors, any colors with any kind of gold fleck in them or anything. I don't think I do though. I don't really use those kind of colors. I'm thinking of maybe one of these like a moss green or something. But no. None of these have the gold fleck or the adventuring in it. was looking to see if any of these scraps have it. Oh, what's this one here? Loch Ness. That might be cool. Alright. I'm debating what color, what do I want to do here? You know, I had an idea on just something simple. Alright, we're going to play a little bit here. I've never mixed these two colors together. I don't even know what this color is called. It looks like it's white, but then it goes clear on the tip there. And it looks like a moonstone glass when I use it, so I don't know. If you guys know what it is, comment below. If you're another glass artist or lamp worker, I don't even know if it's a Glass Alchemy or if it's North Star or if it's a new company or what. I have no idea. But I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to mix it with this cobalt blue. And we're going to try to make like a, kind of like a bowling ball. At least that's my idea here. All right. So now we'll see what this does. I don't want it to be like too solid of a white. I want it to be kind of like a milky white. And then I'm going to twist this up. So we're just going to mix this up as good as possible. Just going to use a little scrap piece of glass here. A little punchy. Basically just a piece of glass to attach it and use it like a handle. So then I can hold it in place or twist it or whatever I need to do to manipulate this and mix it up. So actually, you know what I'm thinking? I'm going to take this one here. We're going to just kind of make some lines and pull the glass around in different places here and there. Try to overlap the blue with the white over the blue. Just kind of swirl it around just randomly. Cool. Alright, and we're going to see what that looks like. So I'm just hoping to get some sort of like kind of swirls up in here on the cobalt with some white, just mixed up a little bit, and turn this into like a bowling ball. Real simple, nothing too fancy at all. And being that it's a dark cobalt, I can either use like the what is it called? The twilight, the dark like a black color, or I was thinking maybe we can even go like gray and make the holes that accent it, because we're gonna put holes on here to make it look like a bowling ball. I like the way the spirals and the swirls are looking in here. That looks cool. And we want to get the roundness to about the size of this here. So, you know, I could have butted it up, but eyeballing it, that looks good. We still have our calipers set over here, which I don't know exactly what they're set to. I need to get a battery so I can read the digital calipers and the reading there. But I would imagine it's at least a 15.5 millimeter, probably 16 millimeter. You know, in order to get a 16 mil, I guess all we'd have to do is check and see. If it's 16 mil, that's it right there. It might be like 16.1. As long as it's 16 mil, then we're right in the center there. And that's good. That's a good measurement. I didn't even think about that. I used the marble to measure it out. So it's good. That marble is 16 millimeter, close to it. And that's what we've been using for our sizing here. So we got to make these for regulation marble races. We got to make these at a 15.5 to 16.5 millimeter. We have 1 millimeter of leeway on going one way or the other with it. Now, one thing that I want to try out, and it's gonna, I don't know if I can even write that small. So I had this idea of writing silver lanes on the bowling ball. And the only way I can think about doing that would be to make a tiny compression marble that we would then have to like add onto here somehow. But then not mess up the swirls, make it perfect size. Like that would be hard. But it might be doable, and I might try it. Alright, we're going to go in on our first press here in the marble mold. Alright, let's check. Let's put a measurement here and see. That is definitely too big. So side we're gonna have to put quite a bit of. That's all. We can save sorry. So now we can. You know, and the one thing I love about this size marble is I'm using flame like I like using. You know, I got back into making jewelry. You know, stepped away from making the pipes, all the big water pieces and all the hand pipes and everything and the UFOs. I stopped making those because, for one, you know, it was hard on my shoulder and my hands, and my fingers were starting to go numb. I have some sort of a nerve issue or something going on in my shoulder. And after blowing glass for 28 years, I think my body is telling me, like, you can't do the weight you used to do. You're not as young as you used to be, sir. And so, you know, learning about what I can and can't make, or different weights that I can make. I like working on smaller scales now because it does help with my shoulder and my hands and my fingers. You know, I don't have issues of my fingers going numb too much, and if so, working on a smaller piece and that's more bigger and fragile and you know, something heavier, you start having your fingers going numb on you while you're messing with some heavy glass, that can be very dangerous. So I've scaled back to smaller scale stuff, but more extremely detailed glass, and some stuff not detailed at all, you know, like the drop of water, but it's very meaningful, it's very impactful. The meaning of it, the importance of it. Alright, so I'm just going to start grabbing glass here and move things around a little bit just to swirl it up some. As we get rid of some of this here. That solid color, so I try to save my solid color scraps, and so you know I can use them for different things. I've got a solid color can here, and then all my clear glass goes in this one over here, or any scraps that I don't plan on using again. Alright, so now we've pulled off quite a bit from this end here. It should make it smaller. So when we round out this front, it's going to pull some of that. So now the sides don't fit through the caliper, but then when I heat this up and I let it down this way, it's going to thin out that center of it, and it should be perfect for the size of the caliper. You know, so I was thinking it would be really cool to make little mini bowling balls since we're going into Silva Lanes, and I hope no other glass blower watches this video and then steals my idea before going in there. And I also hope no one's already come up with this idea and I go in there thinking, oh, this is the greatest idea ever, and then everyone else has bowling balls. Like, wait, oh, never mind. Like that, because you never know. You don't know. But there's glass blowers who all they work on is pipes, and they don't kind of sit here all day and just play, make little miniature creations like miniature bowling balls or something. There are swirls in there. They're faint. They can be more prominent, that's for sure. Alright. But that's okay. This is the first one, first attempt. Let's grab the midnight or the twilight, whatever black we have here. The darkest color that we have. Which, where is it? That it? Oh, it's Loch Ness. Okay. That's actually a little bit kind of adventurous. Huh. Am I completely out of black? There's a Cobalt 6. That's super dark. That's darker than the 4. Okay, that one might be. That one looks really dark. Okay. And it's like we can do it super dark, but you might not even be able to see. Or we can do what I was thinking, go with gray. Sometimes we'll color the holes a little bit different, more lighter to accent it. You know, that way you can see the hole quicker when you're picking up your bowling ball. Alright. Glasses back on. Or I won't be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to add some finger holes. Always a bigger one for the thumb, 2 smaller ones for your other fingers, your middle and your ring finger. Oh, you know what's interesting is the whole one big. One big, 2 little. That's my signature, actually. So a bowling ball is a natural signature for me. Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think about that when I was making them, or thinking about making them. A bowling ball is my signature. It's a big dot, 2 little dots in a triangle pattern. I've been signing my glass like that since the 90s. Holy. Okay. The bowling ball is going to be my signature marble. Guys. I'm going to get known for making marbles. Bowling ball marbles. So we use gray. I don't know if I spread those out too much. No, that looks pretty good. Alright, well, it is what it is. It's there. And it's now a bowling ball. Oh, there goes the sirens for 2024, guys. Oh, and they stopped somewhere nearby. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the first homicide of the year. We're right here in the war zone, so it's not doubtful. Can you even see those? You cannot even see it. Okay, we're going to have to go white. We're going to have to really make this pop out. The only issue that I have with white is it tends to want to boil and leave air bubbles. I'll go with the real soft reduced flame here, more propane than oxygen. Work that white into the surface here. Alright, that white should pop now. Especially compared to all the other color that we were using. That should work. Oh, but I feel it. That is not smooth. To round that out some. Yeah, so one thing about the white that I'm worried about when it tries to get those air bubbles. Alright. I'm just going to keep on moving forward with this one. If it doesn't work out, this is the first one of the day, first one of the year. But that looks cool. Look at that. See the bowling ball? I guess I could put darker dots right there, and then it would make it look like they were holes. I'll leave it like that. I was thinking just go darker because, the traditional bowling ball is a black bowling ball, I guess, or, iconic looking. Uh-oh, we dropped it. It's gone. Where'd it go? What's it melting? What's it burning? I smell it. Ah, dang it. I smell something. Where is it? I have no idea where it rolls to. And it's ruined now. I have no idea where it went, guys. Looking for it. It almost landed. Well, it did land on my. It rolled off my pants. Luckily, I didn't melt my pants because these are polyester. I realized when I stuck it, I should have probably redone that because I noticed how I let it cool. Like, uh-oh, it's gonna probably pop off. What's crazy is it can just roll anywhere. Like, I don't know where it's at. Okay. And that's how this game is played. You win some and you lose some. Like, literally, I lost that mark. Well, I don't see smoke. That's all I worry about, you know? I don't want to catch anything on fire. Unless I purposely want to catch things on fire. But, alright, it is what it is. Okay, let's make a new one. Okay, what colors do I want to use? Do I want to go with the same one? Except maybe this time well, I kind of like that cloudiness. I do want to see the cloudiness in here. We're just going to add it a little bit more prominent, a little bit more thick. And what's fun is that I get to lay this down in such a chaotic way. And I don't need so much. You gotta remember that. Just grab some of those colors that are already there and pull them. If you want to make sure we make this thick though. Okay, so we laid it down a lot thicker this time. Last time I couldn't really see them, so that's cool. We get to start over on this. No big deal. Okay, now that I got it molded, I'm just gonna grab my my glass here that I use for wiping the glass off and moving things around. And we're gonna just kind of move things around here, swirl it up as much as we can. now that's going to have a whole different kind of effect on spirals and swirls. See what that looks like this time. And we'll find that other marble, and eventually maybe I'll be able to reuse it. It was almost rounded. We were going to start to get it perfectly round, you know, but it is a marble. It's round somewhere on the ground, full of dust and lint and hair all burnt onto it, and whatever else it touched, hopefully not any plastic or anything like that. Hopefully it didn't burn anything that's important. Because when it falls on the ground, that stuff, you know, it's a few hundred degrees. So it's really hot, really moldy. And it's funny that I'm all stumbling over here. Like, all right, is this how we're going to start the year? This is what we're going to do this year? What's interesting is now that I have this marble mold, I'm going to take advantage of it. I forget, I can use it to just round it up quick and easy instead of waiting for gravity to do all that. Alright, we're going to add the white now. And I might actually add, like I was thinking, add a dark color right to the center of it. Make it look like they're holes. Alright, and now I'm going to go with this dark color here. And hopefully I lay those in the center, and it'll look like there are holes into the white. We'll see. If I didn't center them, it's not going to look right. That's what I'm worried about. I don't know if I got them centered. But we do got the holes there. You know, it'd be funny to actually make holes, but then round it. Like it's an actual bowling ball. Oh yeah, no, that looks cool. Totally, look at that. So now it looks like there's holes. Yeah, okay. That works. And we know this probably is too big. I'm going to heat it up around it. And we'll pull it on the other side and we'll We'll finish this one up when we will make this happen. We'll make sure the punnies don't fall off. I saw it happening. I was like, man, I should have just reheated it. I'm keeping the flame nice and soft. Okay, so a little too big there. Alright, I'm just gonna bring up the flame just a little bit. I'm trying not to get that white to boil. So I'm staying with a real nice soft flame here. And we're trying to bring the diameter in the center down some. That's closer. Still not there though. That's amazing how like it's like right there, but it's not. Alright. We're gonna punchy up here. We're gonna cut this and stretch it out, so hopefully it'll bring it down to size. I'm gonna do my best not to get this on that hole there, or where the hole, where it looks like there's a hole. All right, then we can cut it off. At this point, we're gonna stretch too, so we can bring down the diameter of that ball, or the circumference, I guess. That way it can thin out some. And then I have to pull this off and make sure there's no color on there. Unless we make another one just identical to it, you know. But I want to keep the blue, we'll keep it all clean. That means I got to scrap that much glass there. That's all clean now though. Ready for the next time. And now this is all clear that I'll be pulling, and let's see how that is. Look at that. That fits through now. So now that's small enough, but it make sure we don't make it too small. So we got to keep some of that glass on there. And now round it back up. So this whole part of it's always touchy. Trying to just see, can you figure out how much glass to remove or not remove? All right, let's see what that does here. Making a little bit more. little mini bowling balls for marble races. It's crazy because you think it'd be so easy to make, but you really want to work on getting all the spiral and all that swirl in there. Like the way they pour a bowling ball with the epoxy resin, and how all that liquid just, the way it like mixes with each other and swirls into each other. You have to really get the glass molten and then move it around to manipulate it and mimic the look of a bowling ball, you know? And now we have to get it precisely to 15 and a half, between 15 and a half and 16 and a half millimeters. Yeah, the only issue now that we're going to have is the white on those holes. If I can cover them with clear glass, then we can get rid of that issue. Because I can feel that white trying to pop up. And it looks cool. You don't want those bumps on there. I don't want those bumps on them. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. It's got those little swirls and stuff in there. That's cool looking. I may actually add, let's see how big it is. Oh, you can't add if it's already too big. We're gonna have to take some away still. Let's cut just a little bit. Alright, I guess it's gonna stay on there. Actually, we're going to take off a little bit more because I do want to add glass. Over those holes. Okay, hopefully I didn't distort those holes now by adding that clear glass on there. I don't know, that white, man, it likes to bubble up. That's not cool. What? And now it looks like there's an air bubble right on top of the hole. We're gonna have to figure out these bowling balls. You can't use white. But the gray wasn't dark enough. I don't know. Maybe we need to use a caramel? Yep, now there's a big old air bubble on the side of it. Alright. Well, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Isn't that what I said last time and then we dropped it? That one is, this one too small. No, it's right there. Okay. Alright, we're gonna make it happen this time, guys. Alright, see, we didn't have a problem like we did last time. I'll just keep this on up, round it up. We may punch it a couple more times. We'll go with a really, really tiny, tight flame here. Try to keep that heat away from where the that punchy is. Try to use the gravity to pull it down some this way. I need to put a clear dot on the big one too. I just add a little bit, but then I pretty much pull it all away, so only a little bit of clear is on that surface. And then it seems to like sink in some, so it actually does make a hole, which is cool. Like makes it sink in, or it looks like it's sinking in. So that's pretty interesting. But now, is it too big? And if it's, 1 millimeter too big, that's okay too. You gotta remember that. But I think with our measurement here, I think we're right at 16 mil, then we can go either half a millimeter this way or half a millimeter that way. Alright, that looks good. Alright, that's my first attempt at a bowling ball, guys. I don't know. It looks okay. I think I could do better. Alright, we'll clean this up real quick. It should just be a little slight bit of a punching mark down here, and that should take care of it there. I love it when it rolls like that. That feels so nice. Alright. And there is the very first bowling ball, guys. That's fun. That's cool. Alright, let me pick this up. I think I broke the end of it, but we can still use it. Alright. Maybe we'll find that marble eventually. And then drop this one in. First one of 2024 done. Alright. Let's make a couple more of these. You know what I'm thinking? Is that the right? It's got to be the best white that I have. Get all these other whites too, but that one, I mean, it's the same one I always use. It's just small, so I'm getting those little tiny bits of air bubbles. All right, let's make another. This time, let's do. That'd be kind of cool. Let's do amber. I picked up amber. I was thinking I was going to do red. So let's do amber and white. You know what? Actually, not amber and white. Hold on. Okay, where is it? Okay. We're going to use amber and whatever this is, either butterscotch or caramel. This is going to look really cool. Just going to lay these colors on as random as possible. Alright, so then I just added a whole bunch of that there. Now we're gonna title this up way crazy. We're just gonna spiral it all upon itself. Oh, that's cool. Alright, that's gonna be a fun swirl there. Hopefully big enough. Now, it's not so easy to eyeball these. Alright, I'll do a size check here. And that looks like it's got a little too much play. We do gotta add the dots though, so that's good. Alright. Go really soft here. I think it's cool. The bowling ball detail is my signature. So now bowling ball marbles are going to become my signature marble. I never thought I was going to be a bowler. And now I'm going to be bowling marbles. And a little bit of clear glass on top. Sorry I went quiet on you. Start doing these little details and I just don't want to mess it up here. I'm just adding the clear glass now over the holes here. Okay. I can breathe. It's always nerve-wracking. You don't want to add too much clear on the hole bigger next to the other one because the more clear glass you have, the bigger it looks like the hole got or whatever. So you definitely got to keep it size proportion. And I have the dot on there, then I pull away most of it. So there's not a lot. I don't need it, I don't think. Got to do the size check again on here. Alright, we'll do a side shot. Still a little small. So, being that that's the case, I don't want to really mess up the swirl too much here and there. We're gonna have to just add clear glass in different places all over here, I'm thinking. Clear glass or what would probably be even more wiser would be to just use more amber. Get our Norway Coffee Class here. Gonna add amber everywhere else except on top of those dots there. We don't need too much. Alright, let's see what that does. If I was just making marbles without a specific size, I'd be able to make these a lot quicker. But having the size regulation at 15.5 to 16 millimeter, that really does make a difference on how long these take and how precise they really are. And I don't know what that's going to look like with adding those clear strips on top of the swirl. I'm hoping that I added them thin enough that it'll just all come through. The amber is translucent, so hopefully all the spirals underneath will just shine through it, and it'll just look like a clear layer of amber on top of it. Alright, we're at that molten stage now. We can reshape it, get it round again. We'll do a size check here. That is much better. Alright. May have to add a little bit of the caramel or the it's either caramel or butterscotch. Okay, that's better. So today they're having the Tournament of Roses parade, which has probably started. You know, I was born in California, and so that used to be something that we would check out every morning for New Year's Day. And there was a couple times when I remember our mom took us to Pasadena, California, to go see the Tournament of Roses parade. I remember that when I was a child. All right, that looks cool. That looks like a really awesome bowling ball. Now I don't know if those dots are dark enough there for the holes. That one's good. I don't know about that one. Like what happened there, see? It is what it is. Okay, let's pop this off. That's so funny. Last night, our 4-year-old's all wanting to go check out the fireworks outside, not realizing what gunshots are, you know? And he's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're popping them off all over. And he's like thinking I'm talking about fireworks. He's all, let's go see them. They're popping off. They're popping off. We have a lot of gunshots here. We live in what's known as the war zone. They call it the international district now to try to give it a little bit better name for itself. But it's always been known as the war zone here. A lot of different individuals clashing with one another. Lower income area here. Our rent's affordable, extremely affordable, so I can't complain about that, but I would prefer to pay a little bit more and have a better place and a better location. So hopefully we can manifest that this year and make that happen for us. I wonder, should I just leave it clear like that on the bottom? That might look cool. But I could also just grab it with this color here and move things around a bit. Cool. Now we got a nice little spiral there on the bottom, sort of. Now I'm just wondering, is it too small? Did I make it big enough by adding that little bit? Looks cool. Let's check the size. A little bit of play, which is good because I'm thinking I want to add. I don't like the way these dots came out. Alright, just add more dark to it. And then I'll add a little bit more clear to it. And then that should be good. And hopefully by adding this, we're also adding more, a little bit more thickness to it. Alright, well, I don't know if that helped. It really misshaped it. So now we gotta go in and reheat the whole thing again. Alright, size check. There's barely movement in between there. I'm hoping that's like a millimeter or less. We can add a little amber to it to make sure. Add a good sized chunk there. Now we have to melt it all over again, the whole thing. And we'll do another size check. Yeah, I really do like the way these come out with the translucent colors mixing in. These are going to look really, really nice. We'll try some dark multicolor with cobalt, or maybe with the red. Yeah, these are going to look really awesome. Mini bowling balls, guys. Now I just got to make the pins to go with them. I was thinking about that too. So if any glass blowers are watching, you better not take my idea before I do. You got to get on it now. Make it now as I'm live. Make those pins. Make those pins. I'm sure someone's already done it. I'm sure someone's made a bowling set with the pins and the marble. Turned it into some sort of a little marble game, right? You flick the marble to see if you can hit the pins down. And if not, well then maybe I need to do that. Alright, well, there's my attempt at making those holes. I don't know what to do. I mean, we can... They look alright, but what I think is I need more white, less black. to really, really get that ring, like that one on top. That one on top looks good. If I can get all three of them to be like that, that would be good. Let's do a size check again. Still has a little bit of play. I'm like, I could just go back in, add the white, add the black, right? I mean, you got a little bit of play with the sizing. Let's make it right. Okay, so now we got the white there. We're going to add the black directly onto it. Okay, and then that also should round them out nice and perfect again, I guess. So the hole should be there, prominent white like the black. And then we'll add a little clear glass right on top again. We'll sink those in. Oh yeah, that is much better. So I don't know if you guys heard the news, guys, but being that it is now 2024, there is a new regulation that's been lifted, a copyright regulation that's been lifted. Apparently, the original Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie, Disney's Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse, is no longer belonging to Disney. It's now part of the public domain, and the copyright restrictions have been lifted entirely. That means I can make a Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie right now and sell it as is without having to worry about any copyright infringements or anything. I can make t-shirts, stickers, we can draw anything we want. I told my wife, you need to start making some Mickey Mouse cards with the Steamboat Willie on it. And yeah, I think that's interesting how that works. You know, after a certain amount of time, I guess over 100 years, it I guess it becomes public domain. And no longer allowed to be protected under copyright. I guess it's only protected for 100 years, or I guess however long that you pay for it, and that might be the limitation that you can get. Alright, let's check this now. That should be... Yeah. I spun it just a little bit and it was tight on one side. I'm like, okay, cool. It's there. We got it to that 16 millimeter point. So amazing that you have to regulate these, or that they're regulated by size like this, out for a little race. But I guess it's not a little race. These are big deal, man. Have you guys ever watched the marble races? Like me and my son, we really got into marble races like a year or so ago. I think last year for Christmas or his birthday, we got this big old marble track set. And I've been making them hand-blown marbles. I mean, the ones that I was showing you guys the other day that are all in this case right here, those are all his, pretty much. I just grabbed them for so I could show you for demonstration purposes. Okay, that looks better. There we go. Much better. And size? It's still got a little leeway. But how much? Alright, well, we're going to punch it up. We're just going to call it. I don't know. I mean, should I add a little bit more? I guess we could add a little bit more amber just to make sure. Oh, dang. We want to make sure it's at that 16 mil. It's like rocking just slightly back and forth. And I don't know if it's going to get a little smaller when we melt down the bottom end where the punchy is holding it. So it's already slipping through. We don't want to have it slip anymore. Just going to add a big old dot right on the top right there. If that don't do it, then I don't know. But now, once again, guys, we have to melt it all back down again. But I do love the way this is all swirled and spiraled up, man. This looks like a really authentic bowling ball, miniaturized. Now we're going to have to make bowling lanes, and we're going to have to create, instead of the marble league, we're going to create the mini bowling league. Borosilicate bowling league, guys. How about that? We'll see how good we can do it. Maybe we can learn how to spin them. We can wax, or not wax, but oil up the lanes. That'd be interesting, right? Well, why not? We'll start the very first bowling league, mini bowling league. I bet you they probably already got it, mini bowling league. They probably already got it. There's probably already glass blowers in on it. I'm thinking I'm the originator, and no, someone else got it, right? If you know anyone who's doing that, comment below. Let me know. Cool. Now we check it. Yeah. There we go. It only slips in one way, but not all of them, which means it's not 100% round. That's what that tells me. Heat it all up. Now we let it cool just a little bit. And we really round it up here. Nice. Alright, then we're going to flip it again. find the punchy. Oh, that was scary. I was gonna lose it again. Hit this side. You know, it looks like there's an indentation there. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of amber to it. Just a little bit. Just enough to help round up that indentation there. That's from getting the whole thing molten, and then when you're pushing it in on the marble mold, it forces that glass into itself. Alright, there we go. And that's nice and round all around there. You always want to look at the reflection in the light to see if there's any bumps. If you see the wave, if you see like any sort of wave when you're spinning it, and you see the light kind of do this, then you know that the surface isn't completely round. But if the light just stays like this as you're spinning it and it doesn't move at all, then you know you have a perfectly round marble. Some of the tricks of the trade, guys. It's nice. Alright. Do another side shot. That's on point. Okay, now we're going to snap this off again. Just like that. Grab our handle here because that thing gets hot. It's carbon graphite. You need to get a handle for this made or something. But this works. And we're going to put that directly into the flame, get rid of the punchy mark there. Alright, that should clean and clear up that punchy mark there. And always just take the paddle and force that heated area to the bottom, start to round it up. And if you can roll it and spin it like that, and it spins, then that's a nice round marble. Alright, there goes our bowling ball right there, guys. Amber bowling ball. That one looks nice. Who would have thought mini marbles turned into bowling balls? I think it's fun. I really like that amber. Let's try red. Let's go with just a regular garnet. No, actually, let's go with the dark garnet. that one's mixed a little bit. Hold on, let's try to find a different garnet. Oh, dark multi. That one would be good too with the amber. You know, let's do that actually. So what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna add lines, and then we're gonna cover the dark multi lines as best as we can with more amber on top of that, maybe clear. Remember, we don't need to add too much. Because we're only making a 15 millimeter, so it's like barely any glass that we need to work here. All right, now we're going to coat this with some amber. That makes sense. We got the dark multi here. We're going to make sure it's all adhered to the surface of the amber. Then I'm going to coat it. That way we get all of it pretty much underneath. Maybe I'll leave a few little pieces uncovered to get that effect of the dark multi and what it looks like. I love being able to experiment and to play with different things like this just to see, like, what is it going to look like? What will it become? Alright, so now we got 2 amber rods here. I'm just going to attach this one to the tip. And we're going to utilize both of them to kind of just swirl it, spin it, twist it, stretch it, do all kinds of stuff to it. Fold it on itself, spiral it up, twist it, bend it. Just make it all organic and crazy. And you want to do that in a way that you're not capturing any air bubbles, but doing your best not to capture any. You want to have it nice and molten while you're wrapping it. Alright. That's all twisted up. I love how it gets that marbly twisted effect in there. In all depths, all the way through from the center, inside and out. There's a lot of indentions and things in there we need to melt out. Hopefully not trapping any air bubbles inside those little crevices. taking a look at the spirals and seeing there's a lot of spiral inside and then it comes out to the surface. Yeah, that's really cool. And we won't really know how it looks until it cools down, actually. You know, with all the dark multi and all different colors mixed in here. That's the one thing that I do love about this too, is like I don't even know what it's gonna look like until it's completely out of the kiln and done. I have a general idea, but especially with dark multicolors, I have no idea how those colors are going to come out. I can try to fire them and refire them and kiln strike them, but other than that, like, yeah, every single one is a unique piece, one of a kind, and the colors come out just the way they come out sometimes. This one is a lot larger than I need it to be, I already know. Yeah, that's big. That's nice though. But it's too big to be a bowling ball. And that's too bad. Because what that means is we're just going to have to simply size it down. We have to really size it down. But I want to make the, I got to make the holes. So let's attempt to do this. Somewhere off on the side where on the side where it'll not get stretched and pulled as I'm trying to thin this all out. Okay. So I start with the white dots like that, and then I got to add tinier dots on top of there, and keep them centered. That's the trick, is to keep them centered. And I personally need glasses. So my eyesight's not as good as it once was. My depth perception is off a little bit these days. So sometimes I work on a prayer hoping that I can line things up and get them to fall into place just right. get that black sunk into the white, keeping them rounded. You try to put the dots not too close together, because when you start adding color like that and they start sinking in, instead of staying round, they actually start creating these interesting points and connections in between each other. So you got to make sure you have the right distance on these. Okay. And then the clear glass, which I'm just using this big old rod here, and it's all cracked on the end, but I'm pulling it from the very tip where it's nice and clean still. I definitely need to wipe off as much of this clear glass as I possibly can. So it's already too big, right? I'm trying to leave just enough to get that depth so I can push the color glass down. Alright. Now the holes are set. Alright, now we got to round this all, but we still got to stretch it out from when we're pulling it off, so we got a little ways to go with this one. And maybe we'll make one more and then call it a day. Adding some diacrylic glass to these might be real cool to give it a shimmer and shine. And this is definitely too big. I already know that. By how much? By about 2 millimeters, so we got to pull quite a bit off. We're going to pull it all from this, where the rod is. I'll call it the bottom side here. And good morning. See, there's got some people watching here. So we're working on making bowling ball marbles. But something different, something a little fun. So the reason why I'm making bowling ball marbles is because I'm going to be entering into a marble race here very soon. And it's going to be hosted by a place called Silva Lanes, which is a bowling alley here. Apparently they're going to be doing it in in the bar at the bowling alley. So I don't know if it's all ages or not. I really hope it is, so we can bring our 4-year-old and he can come and see whether or not Dad can win a marble race. And I just thought it'd be fitting to actually make bowling balls for Silver Lanes, to race. So I'm gonna have bowling balls, and then I'm gonna have my jellyfish available. We'll have some jellyfish marbles and some bowling balls available, and they allow us to sell 10 at the event, through the event. Maybe I'll make more just to have on the side to, once the event's over and we all go home, that we can then also exchange, maybe even before we go home or meet up somewhere else real quick on the way out. I think my jellyfish are going to be a hit, being how small they are. Okay, you see that? So I've taken off quite a bit from this end, and hopefully this will be enough to. Hopefully it'll be enough to get to that 16.5 millimeter. We're going to use gravity, let the gravity bring the marble down. Going to heat it up in the center of it. Try not to get the heat too much on the punchy. And really allowing the gravity to just start to let it fall this way, and it'll thin itself out. Very soon we'll be able to use the marble molds here. Help to get it back to round shape instead of oval. It's funny is looking at this the bowling ball holes, and it looks like a guy just all looking at you screaming as he's going around in the fire. It looks like he's got 2 big open eyes and then a mouth all. Okay, let's see the size here. Wow, still too big. We're going to have to pull off quite a bit then. Alright, let's try that. So if you get these right to the regulation, 15.5, 16.5 millimeter, it makes it take a lot longer than if I were just making marbles, This one would have been done already. So it doesn't take this long to make marbles unless you're making regulation sized marbles. So for those of you who are watching and looking for how-to videos, if you're not making that precise 15.5, 16.5 millimeter, then you'll be able to make these quick and easily. And still, it's only off by like a millimeter. That's enough to disqualify it from racing. It can't be too big. The bigger the surface is, the faster it'll go. So they're really keeping it tight on that 15.5 to 16.5 millimeter. We'll just take some off the back side here. Alright. So it's so sad, you get it round, and then you gotta take off chunks of it. Take off a little bit more. Alright, let's see how that works now. Alright, I'll wait for that to cool. So, I don't know, you can see that guy. He's all in the fire. He's all, oh no! When I'm spinning him around, he's like, ah, ah. It's funny. Looks like some guy is screaming in the fire. Glass bowling balls, mini bowling balls, guys. So we can race them at Silver Lanes. I don't know if any other glass blowers thought about this yet, or if they're already making them. I don't know. We'll see. You know, it is what it is. You start putting those ideas out into the ethers, and others can grab a hold of them. And especially when you go live and you just allow the world to see what you're working on, you're like, oh, I can do those too. So, you know, I could have just recorded this and then let it go live after the races, but what fun is that? Alright, let's get this rounded again. And check the sizing. Come on. It's still like barely too big. It's amazing how precise these have to be. Alright. Pull off another big old chunk. And I'm trying to pull it off away from the what looks like a face. Alright, if that don't work, man, that's a lot that I just took off. Alright, round it back up again. So crazy having to get this to 15.5, 16.5 millimeter. No bigger, no smaller. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it fit through. It fit through. It's tight in some spots and it fit through in others. This one's gonna work now. Now we just gotta make sure it's perfectly round. So we'll let gravity assist us with this and the flame. And hopefully we didn't make it too small. Now I'm realizing it's a little oblongs in some spots. We'll see. We will soon find out. I think we're going to keep it at that because I think it's going to round out a little bit once we get the other side rounded up. Okay, let's flip it over now. That's always scary to put that punchy on and then pop it off. And it's barely holding on. Alright, now we're going to round up this punchy area here. Get this all cleaned up and round. And there's a little flat area, so I think by rounding that up some, it's going to bring all of it in, tighten it up, tighten up the ball of the marble. Nice. Looking good. Alright, do a measure check. I think it's a little bit big, but it's going to be like in that 16.5 millimeters. I think it's there. I don't think we need to be too concerned or worried about that. You know, it's crazy as I was thinking about trying to draw silver lanes on here. I could barely even put them dots on here. There's no way I can write silver lanes on here. That would be a feat. I mean, there is a way actually with the compression bead, the compression marble, and making the lettering first. Well, yeah, there is a way. There's a way. Okay, we're going to grab it on its side here. Always scary to do that. And we can clean up that punchy again. Or the punchy mark. Round up the whole thing once again at this angle. There's so many different angles when it comes to a sphere. debating. Do we go one more? Woohoo, that's scary. Why was that on there so tight? So now that's not, see? It broke a big old chunk right there. That should not have happened. I mean, this was way too molten. That's going to mess with things here. Adding clear glass to the surface here. I'm going to try to pull that away some. We don't want to add any glass to this. It's already just barely too big. If anything, this gives us the opportunity to take a little bit more away. Get rid of any clear glass that's there. But now that punchy is so big and so pronounced, sticking up on that side, that we definitely need to do something about that now. And my punchy has got color. So we're going to clean this punchy up here. We don't want all that color glass on there when we're using it to hold on. So we'll just clean that up real quick. Alright, we'll try to get this all back down and rounded again. We'll try to do our best to keep that flame away from that punchy there. For some reason, it's really wanting to melt onto there. So we're going to have to punch it up a couple more times to get this round again, guys. That's how touchy it is, you know. You add a little glass or something and the whole thing loses its shape, its roundness. If you want to have a nice, round, perfect racer marble, you gotta take the time to make it right. Okay, this should be the last time here. Should be able to round this up now. Maybe one more. I really want to get this perfectly round. And that's the difference on, you know, someone who this is going to make a round-ish marble, call it a marble, or someone who's going to actually spend the time to hand make it and then get it to be precise. And that's the difference in a, you know, a very expensive marble compared to one that they just have, like, you know, the throwaways or whatever, the ones they sell at the kit stores. Those ones are made by machines, so that's why those ones are really, really affordable. But any handmade marble like this, you know, you're looking at 20 bucks and up. Easy. Sometimes, you know, people are paying $200 for a marble. And it's amazing that people will spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on marbles. But there are some hardcore marble collectors out there. Oh, one more. let this side really solidify, so when we stick this to it, it's not going to indent it at all. Catch it, snap it. Let's finish this off. We'll get this last little punchy mark completely gone. Get this whole top rounded perfectly. Bam, there we go. Yeah, that's nice and round. We're going to snap that off. We'll lift it up. Get that punchy mark. Make sure we get the whole entire surface of the marble, not just the punchy mark. That way we don't boil any little like jagged pieces or anything. You want to allow that punchy mark to just sink into the rest of the surface. So that's why you kind of want to hit it in all areas there and allow it to just fall into place. Real nice and smooth like that. And let it kind of cool a little bit. Bring it down into the mold so you can make sure that that punchy mark is round, and bam. That is done, guys. Nice and round and smooth. We drop this one in the kiln. There's another bowling ball for you guys. Pretty cool, huh? There you go, bowling ball right there. All right, we're gonna drop it in. Ooh, that kiln's hot. Where are we at? 1050, with it open, so it's probably at that 1080. We're right there. I can take a break now. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Glassman's World. This is the very first feed for 2024. Welcome to 2024, guys. Make sure you manifest your destinies, manifest your year as best you can. Do what you can to get yourself out of the hole. Remember how prayer works and manifestation works is you ask for those things that you are deserving of, then you put the works into it. So, you know, for me, I ask God for the strength, the endurance, and the knowledge to be blessed with the knowledge to be able to get myself further advanced and be able to get out of this hole, maybe have a bigger studio, have a bigger home, have a big yard, and keep on expanding and doing whatever we can with our families. So with that being said, do what you can to improve your life this year for 2024 and help others as well. Make sure you stay in devotional service to other individuals. Help them when you can. And this is a really long feed, 3.5 hours, so I don't think anyone's going to rewatch this whole thing, but if you do, and you've made it through to this end here, how about commenting below and just say a strike. You can put an X, big old X, or just say strike. And whoever does, I'll contact you and something will happen. All right. You guys have a beautiful day. I'm out. Love and blessings. Happy 2024. We'll see you soon. Oh, yeah. I'll probably be going live later for Music Mondays. It is Monday, so Happy New Year's.